قاذفة اللهب قاذفة اللهب الله
غدارة يا أتلتيكو الغدارة يا موراتا يا موراتا.
A warrior, a leader, a captain.
Fede for me is the ultimate Swiss Army knife player.
Fede Valverde is a dream for any manager.
Valverde, man, this guy is Mr. Versatile. This guy is having the best season he's had for Madrid. He's scoring goals from everywhere on the field. I know Jude getting match-winning moments, but because the injuries that Madrid have to the back line, I mean, this guy pretty much plays as a right wing back any given moment. He protects the entire back line because of how poor they've been overall. Am I bugging? Yeah, you
Right wing back, right center midfield, right wing, and even center back. It doesn't matter the position because with Federico Valverde, it's 100% or nothing.
Who can win balls in the midfield, can support in the attack, but can also come back and defend. And Fede Valverde is a dream for any manager because he's a guy that gives you flexibility, that gives you the work defensively, but has the pace and the physicality and the ability to get forward. And when he gets forward, he gets...
Consistent performances at a position that isn't his while having to play with injections just to get through the pain, and he's still coming up with stuff like this. All that superstar talent up front. But this is the story of the most underrated player in that Real Madrid locker room, Federico Valverde. And wait till you see the one thing he does that makes him a must-have in this Carlo Ancelotti's team. Smash that subscribe button to Kicks with Seb for more content like this if you haven't already yet. And let's get into it. With the amount of star power in the current Real Madrid team this season, Federico Valverde wasn't supposed to be grabbing the headlines like this. Think about it. The names like Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, Rodrigo, Luka Modric, the guys with flair and excessive football skills. But ask Carlo Ancelotti who's the most complete player in football at this moment, and his answer is pretty different.
Seguramente el jugador más completo en este momento en el fútbol. Porque puede, como he dicho, cubrir muy bien todas las posiciones posibles. Y yo digo también como central podría jugar sin ningún problema.
Roughly translated, he calls Valverde the most complete player in the game. And honestly, off the back of what we've been seeing in the recent weeks, he's not lying. The stuff you're seeing here, he's doing from right back. Federico Valverde is a center midfielder, and when he goes to play in that position, it takes nothing away from the natural ability he's got. He can still smash them in from the top ends. This season has been stop-start for Real Madrid. Why? It's the injuries. They haven't been able to catch a break, and if there's one area of the pitch that has really suffered from these injuries, it's the defense.
He's not made mistakes, he's made his runs. I mean, he's had a more than decent game. Opa.
Well, there it was. Well, that looks like an overextended knee.
Both cases here were ACL injuries to Dani Carvajal and Eder Militao. They're both ruled out for the season. I mean, in this context, the natural solution would be to go to the transfer market and get a replacement lined up, right? Well, Real Madrid doesn't work like that. It became Carlo Ancelotti's job to find a balance in the team with the right mix. And he did try to find a way to get balance in the team, but after a few weeks and two very damaging defeats, it was clear something wasn't quite right. The balance of the team was missing. So who did Carlo Ancelotti turn to for a fix? His Swiss Army knife.
In my opinion, no one embodies underrated and complete and important to Real Madrid in this team as Fede Valverde. Fede for me is the ultimate Swiss Army knife player. And what do I mean by that? He can just do a little bit of everything. He's as complete as you can get. Great ball striker, great at crossing the ball, great at striking at goal. If he needs to defend as well too, brilliant defensively. He's so aggressive. So he really does a little bit of everything for this Real Madrid team, but never gets the plaudits because there's flashier players, there's better goal scorers, there's guys that are more in your face. But you cannot underestimate the importance that Fede Valverde brings to this team.
He does a bit of everything, and this season, it's right back where he's proving to be indispensable to the team again. Take the match against Atletico Madrid in that first leg, for example. In 82 minutes, he managed to put in a solid display with an assist and 88 passing accuracy, created 2 chances, 3 long balls, 5 recoveries, 4 interceptions, and 2 clearances. Oh yeah, he did all this despite not being fully fit and reportedly had to play with injections just to get through. A warrior, a leader, a captain. In the same game, he captained the team to become the first side in European football to 300 European wins. At just 26, he's already become one of the most important players in the team. But what exactly does he do that makes him so good? It's a lot of things, the combination of many aspects of his game. He's not the most graceful carrier of the ball, and by this, it means he's not a Luka Modric, for example, who will take the ball and move in ways that get the crowd up on its feet. If anything, it almost looks like he's going to give the ball away when he moves with it, but it doesn't make him any less effective. His numbers offensively in 2024-25 might have taken a slight hit, and that's majorly because of the multiple defensive roles he's had to take this season. For example, his progressive carries only rank in the 77th percentile in the league this season, but when you look at the forward passes category, where he ranks in the 87th percentile, or the progressive carries category, where he's in the 90th percentile, you can see that even from a defensive position, he's still adding his fair share to the team. When it comes to grit, hard work, and work rate, it doesn't get much better than him. His duel percentage this season, the 97th percentile. What does this tell us then? The guy is a fighter. He goes in for every tackle and chases every ball like he's got 3 lungs, and somehow finds the energy to run in the opposite direction, either attacking or defending. A player with his attributes is very unique. It might seem like an overstretch to compliment him saying he's the most complete midfielder. Heck, scratch that, the most complete player in the team. But if we attempt some sort of deep dive into Real Madrid's squad, you'd realize it's not far from the truth. The guys up front, like Vini Jr., Mbappe, Rodrigo, Brahim Diaz, you know what the deal is. These guys are more concentrated in the attacking aspect of the game and would contribute their quota to the team more in this department with goals, assists, and goal-scoring actions. So it's in the midfield where things get pretty interesting. Before I get into this position though, hit that subscribe button to Kicks with Seb in case you missed it earlier. Let's look at the options in the midfield then. As good as Aurelien Tchouameni is, there are certain aspects of his games that he either lacks or has to work on. 1,384 passes this season, a pass completion rate of 93.14 ranks him in the 99th percentile in this category. The stats look good on paper, but if you've watched Tchouameni play over a stretch, you'll realize the problem is that he tends to play too safe at times. Too many sideway passes instead of progressive passes, and he looks better suited to playing in that defensive midfield screen role than in the middle, or even at centre back where we've seen this season. The same with Eduardo Camavinga. He's better known for his defensive abilities, versatility, and tackling skills more than anything else really. For context, the 31 tackles and 67 ground duels he's won this season rank him in the 99th percentile in the league in both categories. But when you look at the numbers going forward, on a consistent stretch again, the numbers aren't that great.